Tonight, workers without contracts unwilling to wait longer.
The bills can't wait, their families can't wait, and their futures can't wait.
Amidst a looming disruptive strike that can halt major services of the public sector. And Canadian Muslims battle with a new wave of mosque attacks. Worried for safety, yet determined to follow the light of Islam in the last 10 days of Ramadan. We cover stories about more than 300 Afghans arriving in Toronto, the alarming migrant crisis unfolding in the unforgiving Mediterranean route, and Ramadan drummers waking up Gazan Palestinians for suhoor. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I am Catherine Bullock. Union members of the Public Service Alliance of Canada, also known as PSAC, have voted in favour of a strike. If the strike takes place, it can potentially affect more than 120,000 public workers. It will create countrywide disruptions in a number of areas. In yesterday's press conference, PSAC's national president said the workers have been without a contract for the last 2 years. He said the majority of them do not want to wait any longer. The main sticking points are the percentages of wage increases and rules around remote work. Voting was held in several units from the last week of February till yesterday. 35,000 Canada Revenue Agency workers have voted in favour of strike. This makes it the fifth bargaining unit to be in a legal strike position by the end of this week. The Treasury Board will be at the bargaining table with the union until Friday. A Richmond Hill man has been charged with a suspected hate-motivated crime for blocking the entrance to a Markham mosque and assaulting several people. According to the police, on Sunday night, the 47-year-old perpetrator blocked the entrance to the Imam Mahdi Islamic Centre. He got out of his vehicle, yelled derogatory slurs at worshippers, and then assaulted some before driving away. He was charged with 3 counts of assault and mischief under $5,000. He will appear again on May 17th in court. This is a second attack on a Markham mosque within a week. The police think the incidents are not connected. In an ongoing investigation, the Waterloo Regional Police Service is looking for a suspect for allegedly pointing a gun at a Muslim woman. The incident happened when the woman was headed for her home after leaving a mosque in Kitchener. The victim told a media source that while driving back from the mosque early in the morning yesterday, a man sitting in his car next to them rolled down his window and pointed a gun at them. According to the woman, the man was wearing a mask and a hoodie. Local police have not confirmed if the incident will be treated as a hate crime. However, they have confirmed an ongoing investigation in collaboration with Waterloo Kitchener's Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Unit. The woman says the incident makes her feel afraid, but it will not stop her from going to the mosque. The Kitchener Mosque's imam says they have security cameras and hire security guards. He says people should contact the police if they see anything wrong. Qatar and Bahrain are the most recent Middle Eastern countries to end a years-long dispute. The news comes after delegates of the 2 Arab states met yesterday in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. Bahrain and Qatar are members of the Gulf Cooperation Council, also known as the GCC, along with Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates. Riyadh is the GCC's headquarters. A statement issued by Qatar's foreign ministry says the meeting will enhance Gulf unity and integration. This will be the first time the 2 countries will redevelop diplomatic ties since they were severed in 2017. 6 years ago, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Bahrain, and the UAE imposed a diplomatic blockade on Qatar, claiming that it had close ties to Iran and backed hardline groups. Doha has always denied the claim. The UN Human Rights Chief says he is alarmed at the precarious situation of asylum seekers and migrants attempting to cross the central Mediterranean. He is calling for concerted efforts to ensure their dignified rescue and processing at a safe location. The Human Rights Chief referred to Italy, which has imposed strict new laws regarding rescue missions. Italy declared a state of emergency 2 days ago to manage the migrant influx. The UN chief says, quote, "We cannot afford to dither and to become embroiled in yet another debate about who is responsible. Human lives are at stake." The European Border and Coast Guard Agency says irregular migrant flow to Europe has increased to 26% in the first quarter of 2023. The central Mediterranean route is dubbed one of the deadliest migration routes in the world. According to the UN Rights Office, in the past 9 years, over 26,000 people have died or gone missing crossing the Mediterranean. Please stay tuned. We will join you after a short break.
Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. I'm here to ask you to support something which we are watching right now, Muslim Network Television. Just like PBS, NPR, or even your masjid, we depend on your donations. We broadcast Muslims, we put Muslims on air, we bring good news, we counter negative media with positive media. And here is an example. When the terrible earthquakes hit Turkey and Syria, Muslim Americans donated $100 million within 5 days. That was more than what US government gave in the same time. Getting our news out is what Muslim Network does. This Ramadan, stand for your community. Donate to Muslim Network. Do it now. Visit muslimnetwork.tv. Thank you so much, and assalamu alaikum.
The Greek Orthodox Church says Israeli police are compromising the freedom of worshippers with too many restrictions. According to the church, there is a cap for the number of worshippers who can attend the upcoming Saturday's Holy Fire ceremony. The news comes after Israel has been embroiled in both domestic and cross-boundary tensions after its inhumane attacks on Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem in the holy month of Ramadan. Israeli police say the restrictions are put in place to ensure the safety of Christian worshippers at the Church of Holy Sepulchre. According to Christians, the church is the place where Jesus, peace be upon him, was crucified, buried, and resurrected. The Israeli force imposed similar restrictions on last year's Holy Fire event. Church officials say there is no need to alter a celebration that is centuries old. The church's Patriarchate of Jerusalem says their negotiation with Israeli police to relax the restrictions has failed. More than 300 Afghans have arrived yesterday in Toronto. This brings the total number of Afghans settling in Canada since the Taliban's takeover to 30,000. In August 2021, Canada promised to bring in 40,000 Afghan refugees. Since then, Ottawa has faced criticism for its lack of prompt efforts to bring Afghans to safety. Critics point out that Canada closed its embassy earlier than other countries. In a recent news conference, the government says it is close to reaching its target. However, it also says there will be significant challenges in doing so. Advocates are demanding the government do more than settling 40,000 refugees. The government says it will reconsider its course of action once it reaches its initial goal. The Russian Attorney General's office has announced an investigation to determine the authenticity of a video showing the beheading of a Ukrainian military man. Russian and Ukrainian officials yesterday condemned a video circulated on social media networks showing a soldier with a Ukrainian arm patch being beheaded. Ukrainian officials accused the Russian military of executing a Ukrainian soldier. The Russian side said the authenticity of the video has to be checked. Head of the Wagner paramilitary group denied the involvement of its forces in the video and that the video was recorded near the city of Bakhmut. A Ramadan drummer is fulfilling his duty of waking up Palestinians in the early morning in the Gaza Strip during the holy month of Ramadan. Despite the arrival of modern means and the tradition of human alarm clocks, Ramadan drummers have survived in Palestine. Since the start of Ramadan, drummers take to the streets in the wee hours, beating drums and reciting verses in melodious tones in praise of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The people wait to the sound to take an early meal and to begin the fast from dawn till dusk. Muslims observing the fast during Ramadan in the Gaza Strip have long depended on street drummers to wake them up for the morning meal. The Ramadan drummers are known as Mesharati and reflect the social and religious heritage of the Palestinians. Thank you for watching. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or go to our website, muslimnetworktv, to make a donation so that we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.